Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Unwind with Fifi. I hope everybody's doing well. How are you guys? Welcome back. And those who are brand new to my channel, this is Unwind with Fifi. We basically just relax, kick off our shoes, pour a glass of wine, and we just chat about this thing called life. And that's what we're going to do today. So today I want to touch on a topic actually that I speak about when I'm coaching, or I focus on rather when I'm coaching, and that is knowing yourself. Know yourself to self yourself. That's what I call it. And basically it means, do you know yourself? Do you know yourself well enough to be able to sell yourself? And if you think about an instance where you have to sell yourself, we are talking about corporate. So instances like, interviews or networking, if you think about it. So when you get to a point where you meet somebody, an industry leader, or somebody that you've been meaning to meet for a long time, and they say, well, tell me about yourself, what are you going to say? Because you do want to say the right things, the things that are going to captivate them, because when you are in a moment or an instance where you meet an industry leader, you want to captivate them and grab their attention. They have 2 minutes literally, to pay attention to you. So what is it about you that is going to hook them, basically, or even remember you after that? So that is one of the topics that I focus on when I'm coaching, or I actually start with it, because for me it also helps, who am I dealing with? Does this person know themselves? Because coaching is all about getting you to a point where you want to be. Personal development coaching, it's about getting you to a place where you want to be. So setting goals, or whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. Sorry guys, let me close the door. So understanding who am I, or even in interviews. I do a lot of interviews, when I'm recruiting for interns and so on. So a lot of times you sit there and you're like, please tell me about yourself. That's my first question all the time. And it's like, yeah, my name is Rufilwe, and I'm from Mafikeng. I went to Tudong Primary School, and then you've lost me already, because I don't want to know what's on your CV. I can read your CV. I literally print out a CV when I'm interviewing so I can have it in front of me. So when I say tell me about yourself, I'm not looking for that you studied BCom finance. It's on your CV, I can tell it. Tell me who you are. Do you know that? And that's what a lot of young people coming into the corporate space don't really think about. And rightfully so, because nobody really teaches us these things. When you're in varsity, nobody really looks at interviewing skills, personal development. So I really don't blame the young people coming into the workspace who get asked the question, tell me about yourself, and they basically read out their CV. I don't really blame them, because nobody teaches you these things, right? So that is what I want, you guys to actually think about. Even if you're not, a 21-year-old entering into the workspace, but you're looking to make that transition in your career. Maybe you're like myself, a 26-year-old, and you're looking to, you found yourself now, and you're looking to move into whatever it is that you've now found about yourself. So making a career move, or just a company, do you actually know who you are? So if you do get meet the CEO of a company that you want to move to, at a function or something, and say, tell me about yourself, what are you going to say? Do you know your strengths, your weaknesses? I always do a SWOT analysis with the interns, so that they figure out what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what opportunities are there, and threats. Because it's something that's very important. A lot of people don't think about it, but you have to do your own internal SWOT analysis. in business, when you're doing a business proposal or whatever the case is, they always do a SWOT analysis of the business, so you also have to look at, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses. I was actually having a conversation with Rick Rankin, who's been, a corporate executive for, over 30 years, and he was on our channel. So do watch that interview if you haven't. And he used to be in the recruitment space where he would, recruit basically executives like himself. And one of the things that he said is he would ask the question, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and 5 challenges. And he wasn't really looking for the answer per se, but how quickly can you answer that question? Because it says a lot about who you are as an individual, that you know what are your strengths, you know what are your weaknesses, what it is that you need to work on, and what it is that you bring to the table, right? So it's one of the things that I think a lot of young professionals don't really think about. So, I mean, it's a great exercise to do, just sit down and look at, do I actually know myself, I think a lot of us define ourselves by, external things, what you have, what you've acquired, the degree, where you live, the car, the relationship, whatever it is. But when you are alone with yourself and your thoughts, do you actually know who you are, and can you articulate that to other people, right? So I'm moving into the personal branding space, and one of the things that I'll be offering on the services is, looking at the digital space, your digital footprint. When people Google you, what do they find? What do they say about you? Because one of the things that is, in recruitment is they are starting to look at your digital footprint. So before you even come for that interview, they've already looked at your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and you don't even know this. So it's also very important to, what you say on your social media platforms. It says a lot about you and who you are as a person, what you bring to the table. I think a lot of us just think, my Twitter's private, or I'm just going to tweet things because that's my opinion. But for brand reputation as a company, you don't necessarily want to bring somebody who is going to be saying things that are way out of your brand or could get your brand into trouble. We've seen a lot of people saying things, and then people like, this is the company they work for, and let's tag the company. So it does say a lot about, who you are, and what you bring to the table. You may not necessarily be the spokesperson for that company, but for the company values and the company culture, they do, recruiters and hiring managers do look at such things as well. So it's very important to also take note of that, what you say on your social media, because companies now are looking at that. We're not looking at your CV on paper, what you bring or what you send us, but like all around, your 3D CV basically. So because brand reputation is very important these days. So that's what I wanted to chat about today with you guys, just to have you guys think about that. The last time I was speaking about, manifestation and, vision board, and looking at halfway through 2020, what have you achieved and so on. So now I think it's, it's a good chance, a good time to say internally, who am I? And when all of this is finished, when all this is done, Corona, and the world is sort of getting back to normal or moving into the new direction, companies are hiring again, funders are now, have money or have a little extra in their pockets to fund whatever projects that you're working on. Who are you and what are you bringing to the table? When they meet you, what are you going to say to these people that's going to really captivate them, but also is authentic to who you are, because that's another thing. I think more and more the world is becoming more looking for authenticity, rather than, the norm or the trends or whatever the case is, but looking for authenticity as well. So when you get the chance, do sit down with your notebook. I would start with, who am I? Where am I? and where do I want to go, and then do a SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What opportunities are there for me to pursue, in order to align myself with where I want to be, align myself with the kind of individual that I want to be, and then look at what your threats as well, and looking externally but also internally. You want to be a speaker but you have anxiety, you can't even be in front of 5 people and speak in front of them. What are you going to do about that? That anxiety is actually a threat to who you want to be. So what are you going to do about it, so that you get to the place where you want to be? So I hope you guys took something from this, and that you will, take it into your own life and really do what is it called? Yeah, that word that I'm looking for. But just look at your overall life like you're a brand. And if I was an investor or you were an investor, wanted to invest in that brand, what does it say about what is it that's coming out? What is it telling you? And then see where to go from there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Also, how glad do I look, honey? I just came back from a photo shoot for my new website. I'll share that with you guys later. Oh, by the way, I neglect my wine here, I'm so sorry. I'm having a Sauvignon Blanc, a Selena Sauvignon Blanc by the one and only Miss Ntsiki Biela. Guys, we have to celebrate Ntsiki Biela in this country. A black woman doing the things, and I mean, it's an excellent fine wine. I'm getting citrus. It's very rich. I've been putting away my white wines because it's winter. You need to chill your white wine. So I've been having a lot of my reds because that's warm and it gets a girl going. So I've been neglecting my whites, or not neglecting but putting them away. So now I have white wines and I don't know what to do with them. So I just have to drink them, I guess. But I let this one be at room temperature, so it's not cold, because it is winter and I'm not about that life. But it's actually a nice Sunday today, so yeah, I'm shooting on a Sunday. I know that I'm posting this on a Friday, but I'm actually shooting this on a Sunday because during the week a girl has a 9 to 5, can't be shooting and all of that. And I mean, look how pretty I look. I mean, guys, look at this. And I did this, me, myself, and I mean, really now. If you're new to this channel, I am a little crazy. I know I'm serious, but then I just become Fifi. So, the corporate look, the talk, Rafile. This, Fifi. Anyway, I'm out. Cheerios.